Welcome to the Serenity Wealth Now show with Chris Cooper. This is not your typical financial show. As a CPA, licensed insurance agent, and investment advisor, Chris brings the financial conversation to life, where the numbers really matter. Every week, Chris sits down with someone from the community to find the financial lessons hiding in their story. Now, here's your financial friend, Chris Cooper.
All right, welcome. Happy Father's Day, and we are on location. Very special show for Father's Day. We are on location at the Men's Modern General Store in downtown Cottleville, sitting with the owners, Micah and Caroline. How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, thank you so much for hosting us. This is awesome. What a great location. I've never done our show outside of our audience or out of our studio before, and it's nice to not have this stuffy little studio.
Yeah, we have a gorgeous space and setup here.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about this place. I know this is a vision that took a little bit of time to get there, obviously, because it's beautiful. But give me some of the story here. What's the background behind the genesis of the store?
Well, 3.5 years ago, we were on a date, and I said, "You're really hard to shop for."
It's true. I'm sure he's a guy.
I mean, men are hard to shop for, right? So we were talking, and I said, "I have this idea. What if we opened a store that sold all the things that you already know and love, that you're expert in? You've spent so much time researching knives and everyday carry and beard care and all of the things."
I didn't know you had a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those listening on the radio, yes, Micah has a pretty nice looking beard. I'm jealous of it. I can't do this. So
Yeah, got a good one. So that's kind of how it came to be. We started with an idea in a car on a date, and then we worked at it for 3.5 years.
Yep.
And it just continued to evolve. And 9 months ago we opened.
Yeah.
And it's been crazy.
Now, do you still have to shop elsewhere for him, or can you shop here now?
I just say, "What do you want, babe? Go pick it out," and then you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
Of all the things.
That's perfect. And buy 5 of them so that they can go on the shelf too.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's one of the things that you guys really do. Everything in here is something that you would use yourself.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Every single product in our store, I have to have it either personally owned,
Yeah,
or know somebody personal, knows somebody personally that has owned it.
yep.
For us to carry the old product, actually.
Yep. And that makes sense. And that's part of the reason why you have the store.
Yeah. He is actually very picky, but that's in our favor here because
Yeah.
he picks like the best quality stuff. It's actually like hand-picked businesses from across the United States. You can't really find
I like that.
these products in big box stores at all. They're
Which is also a
American
nice
made.
little niche.
Like 95% of what we carry is American made.
So, and I think that that's one thing that guys are hard to shop for. I'm terrible to shop for. I know it. Stacy knows it. She also knows that I won't admit it because I think I'm easy to shop for. Because guys, we just don't care, but we are also very picky. We want things a certain way. And usually one of the things we just don't care about gifts too much because we'd rather just go do it ourselves just because we know what we want. So we're very difficult to shop. And we hate shopping also. So
Yes.
I think Micah was talking to me a little bit ago about location, which location's always a big deal, right? And I think one of the things that I thought was interesting is obviously you guys settled on this location, but one of the things that I thought was funny hearing about is you guys would see people walking around downtown St. Charles area, noticing that people were shopping, but the guys had no place to go. And so talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, originally we were thinking St. Charles Main Street because you always see women going into the store.
Yeah.
And men are just standing outside. So we were like, we need a place for the men to go. and so that's kind of how the lounge evolved, the lounge space in our store. So yeah, we couldn't find the right space in St. Charles, but it's because we were supposed to be in Cottleville.
I think that makes sense. Sometimes life just works that way,
It does.
But it's so true. And I love all the shops down in historic downtown St. Charles, a lot of crafts things. And kind of like what you were talking about, that niche, right? Some unique things. But the problem is those unique things downtown there's not a lot for me to go look at and be like, oh, I want to go into this store.
There's not a place where
Women
the men
love it
buy
though,
stuff. Yeah.
right? But yeah, we don't like to shop.
Yeah.
You know?
We have so many people come in and over the last month have come in for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, I'll get some more golf balls, or it doesn't matter. I'll just get and I'm like, you have this stuff right here. But I think like we're gun shy. Like women are scared to buy the wrong thing because they want it to be good, like good stuff. And we've got it all here.
That's awesome. And I think that that's important because it is easy to shop for guys. We like cool stuff, but we like it to be unique. And I think that's kind of one of the things that you were explaining there is that expression isn't always easy to get out of people, right? Because no one's going to say, oh, I really want a nice set of, knives for cooking,
knives
But I have some. I bought them here, and I have 3 knives, different sizes, and they are so much different than anything I had from a store before. They actually work, and you see all the professional chefs cutting the really fine meat slices or the really fine, onions. Goodness gracious. You can't cut them that thin unless your knife is the right knife.
Good, yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think like women have their jewelry and purses and shoes, and I think that men deserve nice things too.
Sure.
And that's something that I say when I'm talking about our business or I'm networking. I just say like men deserve nice things too, and the things that we carry, because they are so unique. Like Mike always says, like buy once, cry once. Like they're going to be nice, but they're also going to stand the test of time. They're going to last, and they are they're quality items. They could be heirlooms, like the kitchen knives or some of the things that we carry. So,
and that's another thing for guys that's important. Like we like things that last because we only like to do things once. I joke around. I have the same polo shirt. I wear it all the time. I have the same model shirt. I bought like 12 of them, different colors, put my logo on them because, tax write-off, obviously, because it's a business expense then.
Yeah.
But that way I don't have to shop again until I need another order. It's not because I don't like to look fine. I don't care how I look really, but I want it to be comfortable and I want it to last. And I quite frankly don't want to think about it again.
Yeah. So when you come into our store, you know that what you're going to get is quality. It's going to last. It's not going to fall apart or break. It's good quality stuff.
Well, and unique too, right? You were mentioning that there's something that is somewhere in the U.S., mostly, right? Made in the U.S., high quality, and the person that manufactured. We develop relationships with the vendors. This doesn't exist in the United States. We have scoured the United States. We haven't found something. Some places that offer clothes have similar kind of vibe to us, but really what we are doing, we have not found something like this. So that's
it's
really
very
cool.
It is very unique.
Yeah. So, and then you also have, you mentioned it earlier, the lounge space. So talk to me a little bit about the lounge space, because I think that's another area that's a little bit unique.
Yeah. So we are really passionate about, I wasn't, and now that I work here, I am passionate about bourbon. We are passionate about Missouri spirits. And so in the lounge space, we offer like bourbon tasting experiences and mixology classes. And our goal is to actually, there's 50 Missouri distilleries. We want to carry every single one of them.
Nice.
And so we will have lots of different, whether it's bourbon or gin, tequila, vodka, all of the Missouri brands are represented here. That doesn't exist.
We have a lot
either.
of them here, and people don't understand that. We always think about Kentucky, but it is actually a growing thing.
Missouri's growing our bourbon trail. So we're excited to be kind of part of that and allow people to experience that in our store.
Well, and we've got some other guests that we've had on our shows before that are part of that network as well, who I also know you know and support here as well. So very cool. A lot of cool things going on there. Now, I got to ask you though.
Yes.
All right. So you mentioned, you weren't a huge bourbon person until now. Let's just say whiskey, because bourbon gets that whole Kentucky thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is great marketing for the state of Kentucky, by the way. You don't have to be Kentucky to be bourbon. Everyone thinks that, but it's not true. So How hard was it for you to get into whiskey?
I mean, for 4 years, Micah, I would taste his. I would taste it, and I did not like it.
You get that face. Like Stacy gets it too.
I
It's
did.
like,
I was like, oh, that just burns. And then, honestly, it was when we opened. I was like, if I'm selling this and I'm talking to people, I gotta be educated.
Yeah.
And now I think I might eventually go and get up my like bourbon steward license
cool.
because I just love it. Like I've learned so much about it, and
See?
yeah,
It's good. You're a good role model for Stacy.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she needs to
she's
start
getting there
trying some-
slowly, but it is an acquired thing. It does. It's not something you just walk in and all of a sudden you're like, oh, look, this is amazing.
Yes.
It does take a little bit of
does.
working through. You start with an old fashioned, something a little bit more sweet to it. and
We
then
have
work
that
yourself
bourbon
through.
tasting experience where someone comes and chooses 4 bourbons,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to try them. And honestly, that is what helped me
Yeah.
open my like, oh, this tastes totally different than this. It doesn't just burn. It's not just icky. Like it actually, oh, I like this. I taste these notes, or I started to like understand
Yeah.
the different flavor profiles.
It does take some time to get through that burn.
Yeah.
Because at first everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's like gasoline.
Oh, yeah.
But then,
Nope.
it's
So good.
And you don't, this is not, your high school days of like buying a bottle of Jack for one purpose here.
Yep.
We're like, this little sipper here is going to last me for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a nice casual drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, we actually, over the last 6 months, we've done 2 barrel picks with one of the brands that we carry, Burnt Barrel Distillery.
Very cool.
And they, the first one sold out fairly quickly. And so we actually have another one right now that we're all enjoying.
Yes. so
We're
talk
all drinking.
Let's talk a little bit about this one. So what do we have here?
I'm going to let Micah talk about it now that he's back with us.
So this is actually our second barrel pick with a burnt barrel, and we actually wanted to try to get to a higher proof point this time. So this one comes in, it had 120.
It's 121. Right?
121 proof, and it is just short of 3 years old, actually.
Okay.
And
It's really smooth. 3-year-old, really smooth. though.
Right?
That's stuff.
Just,
very uncommon.
So Burnt Old Barrel is doing some crazy awesome things,
Yeah.
and it's just crazy how young the product is, but the flavors flavors are incredible though.
Yeah, and that's what's unique is people don't think about that, but you always assume that you need to have an aging experience in order to get a really good flavor profile, and that's really not the case. It's just it's a lot to it, and I don't know all the details. That's why I have other people tell me the details, and now I know that you're right here in my backyard to help pick good barrels, so I don't have to think about that.
Yeah,
right?
we're excited to partner with other distilleries over the next few years. And this one, we have about 70 bottles left, I think. And then, and hopefully we'll do another one before Christmas. And
Very nice. Well, and I think that means it's the small batch style too, which is a little bit of a different flavor profile as well. You don't get that. It's, talk a little about that big box feel. That small batch whiskey gives a different profile every batch as well, which is also unique.
yeah,
So I love that kind of stuff. So very cool. All right. So you guys also do events here as well.
we do.
right? So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about, because I know you guys have the general store, great quality items there. And I've learned that, you really, and you were helping a customer, so we couldn't talk about this, but we talked a little about knives and a really good quality sharp knife. Now I can cut onions super thin.
Yep.
The proper way, right? Don't have to worry about my meat getting cut and throwing all my beautiful hard work on the smoker, away to a terrible cut job. It's all in the high quality knife, right?
Yes, it is.
And I think you learned that you're not supposed, a serrated knife is not necessary in your collection, apparently.
Yes. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were
He
shopping
told
for
me,
knives.
he's like, if it's a good knife, it doesn't need to be serrated.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But a good night, like we shouldn't have to use that, even for bread, even for cutting bread.
See, that was why I was like, come on, even for bread, seriously.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Apparently.
I'm gonna try cutting some bread now.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Stacey's like, yes, he's gonna cook more often now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if it's smoking meats, I will cook more often. You know, that's it. I don't like to do the sides.
Yeah.
So are you the same way?
Actually, the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
You like the sides?
I do the smoking,
Yeah.
and then
All right.
I think you like the meat, you just don't like to do it.
Yes.
Okay. See, I like the credit for the long process that
Yeah.
seems like it's going to
The
be
ribs.
amazing, takes forever. But really, I just get to hang out and like drink some whiskey and like, you know, sit and watch the game for a while.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it, you get all the credit that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes into it, of course, but it's much more fun to make fun of it with it. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about this event space. So you guys do events, you rent the space out for the events.
So you can rent out the use of our lounge. So the entire space isn't obviously available because
Sure.
we have our general store,
Yep.
but you can use the pool table, you can use the chairs, you can we use a platform called WeQuip to rent those.
Okay.
So you can find that online at wequip.com and just type in Men's Modern General Store, or you can come into the store and reserve the use of the space. We've had a 60th birthday party here. We've had a couple's wedding shower. We've had networking events, lunch and learns, so stuff during the day. We also have a divider, so if you want it to be a more private
Nice.
area. So we have a ready room. We actually have a ready room coming up this next weekend, to be able to use the space. And the groomsmen will take great pictures and.
Well, it's got a pretty cool vibe to it
Yeah,
as well.
it
So,
does, it does.
and then the whiskey shelf over here with the modern with the local selections is available as well. Perfect.
Yeah.
Seems like a great combination to me. So, all right. So you guys, we talked a little bit about kind of your background, how you got started. So, what really drove you to decide that, you know what, I mean, you talked a little bit about the specifics of, you know, hey, there's, you know, men needed a place to have really nice things. What made you decide that you wanted to really get into, open up this business and make this dream a reality?
I had opened my private practice in 2019. I'm a therapist. I specialize in trauma.
Okay.
And I think Micah saw some of the freedom that I mean, there's a lot of work, but
Business owners are,
Yeah,
there's a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding
it
and
is.
awful sometimes,
Yeah.
but also very
Challenging
rewarding.
in every way.
Yeah.
But I think you saw that, and I'll let you speak to your journey to decide to do this with me.
Well, I would say probably the very first year after Caroline, the very first year after Caroline brought this idea to me, there was a lot of back and forth on like doubting it and
Sure.
and just not really being sure if that this was something that I would actually enjoy, and then you had a year. Me and Caroline were talking about parenting our youngest son, who is now 5, so he was probably like 3.
Okay.
And he has a good condition called arthrogryposis, which kind of makes things harder on him.
Okay.
And
Like it affects joints and tendons and muscle development in utero. So it.
And but like he just kind of has a few struggles.
Okay.
And we were just talking about like, how do we challenge him that you still have to try hard things.
Sure.
And so as a dad, that kind of hit home for me, because I've always let my stuttering choose what the type of what type of job that I had.
Yeah.
So I drove semis. I poured concrete. I was on a tree crews, and the one thing that was always the common denominator throughout my jobs was the primary thing that brought me joy throughout my day was talking to the customers.
Yeah.
And so we talked about parenting, and it just really became clear that if I'm gonna challenge our son to do hard things, that I have to it.
I love that.
Yeah, I didn't as well.
That's awesome.
And prior to our store opening, I had never spoken in front of more than 3 old people at a time.
Yeah.
And like whether it was a family or people at my childhood church that had known me my entire life, I wouldn't speak in front of more.
Well, it's tough. You're putting yourself out there.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
And so just challenging to grow through things. And so
I love that.
so
Never in a million
here's our
years
story.
would he think he would be talking in a microphone on a podcast.
I know this is awesome, right? Are you
Or
getting a little teary-eyed over here? You should. I mean, that's kinda cool.
have a really great man and a really great husband that I found. We actually met on a dating app. This is like side note. We met on a dating app in January 1st, 2020. So a few months before the world shut down. And we met January 3rd, got engaged 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And got married 2 months later.
That's crazy.
So
when you know, you know.
You know. I had been divorced, and we have 2 older kids. He's a great bonus dad, but he inspires me with all that he's kind of overcome. Yeah. Personal growth is really important to us. A lot of our books like highlight that, and we just both, I'm a therapist. I mean, I care about.
I know we're going to have to get the couch here in a minute.
Yeah. People say I make people cry. But he makes me cry sometimes because he's just a good guy.
Well, that's awesome.
We need good men and good dads.
Yeah. And we kind of lost sight of that in some ways in this country a little bit, right? And that's important.
Honor the good men and help them, support them. And
I think you've got a really good thing here, right? And that's, I think, a very important lesson that we all should learn. There's challenges that we're all going to have in our life, and we have to overcome those, and we have to have people around us that can help us overcome them. But just by going and putting yourself out there and learning and educating and getting out there and kind of overcoming those fears, you set great examples for those around you, and what a great lesson you're teaching your child too. So kudos. So I love that. So we're going to get a chance to play some pool here, because I can't leave here without playing pool, but we're going to wrap this episode up because this is a lot of fun, and quite frankly, I want to drink a little bit more of my whiskey here, and I've been talking too much. So guys, thank you guys so much for having us out today. This is amazing. Folks, come check out the Men's General Store, Men's Modern General Store. Can't leave out the word modern here. And pay these guys a visit, and you will not be disappointed. And quite frankly, you may as well do that to get a great gift for the dad in your life.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again to my guests, Micah and Caroline, for letting us host our show in this amazing space. What a cool day. I was able to spend some time on Father's Day hanging out, enjoying recording our show at a great location, with some great products as well, with some great people. And I think that's really what life's all about. When you set up to open up your own business, you don't think about you obviously have to think, oh my gosh, how am I going to afford to make sure our ends meet? But most business owners, that's the secondary thing that comes in once they actually start their business. They're more concerned about bringing that passion, bringing the excitement, bringing the energy, because that's really what makes a business successful. Yes, financial things matter. Of course they matter. But even when we're thinking about retirement, financial considerations, yes, they're important. They fund things, but that's not a real objective. Business owners think about the passion they bring into their business. Business owners think about the products they're bringing in, making sure they're delivering great quality things, and that experience matters. That's why I like working with business owners. That's why I like shopping at small businesses, because that customer service, that feel, that experience is something that you do not get replicated at the big box stores. It's a great experience. I'm sure you guys out there know exactly what I'm thinking about, because right now in your mind is that business that you support no matter what. And they're in your mind right now because they made a difference and they're passionate about what they do. It's really cool to see that come to life. And that's why business ownership is so unique. Sure, it has its own set of challenges. Every day is an adventure, but that doesn't mean it's less rewarding. And actually, those challenges in life make things more rewarding. No different when we're thinking about our retirement, right? When we think about our retirement, the challenges we overcome to save properly, to fund our future, to figure out life's goals, those are the things that make us get up each and every day and go, you know what? I did it. I'm here, and today's the day that I get to turn in my badge and make this retirement dream a reality. And there comes with its own set of challenges too. And the money is important. Of course it is. But how you save, yes, that's great. But what you're trying to do is more important. We want to make sure we can live the life we want to have. We want to serve those whole goals, hopes, dreams. All of those things are most important, because at the end of the day, the numbers on a piece of paper matter, but they matter because they're serving your objectives. That's the real concern we want to solve for. How can we fund our lifestyle and enjoy the time we have? It is Father's Day. We want to get that out there. We want to enjoy our time with our dads out there. If you are a father, happy Father's Day to you. And when you're ready for your own conversation, give us a call. We're happy to help. And until then, check us out on social media outlets for more information, insights, and of course, a little more fun with finance. We'll see you next week.
Serenity Now!
Serenity Wealth Now can be found wherever you are at serenitywealthnow.com, on YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and on News Talk STL Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. When you're ready for your own conversation, schedule some time with Chris by visiting serenitywealthnow.com. That's serenitywealthnow.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.